So I think we'll start. It's 11 sharp. So let me start first by sharing my screen and then giving an introduction as to what we are doing. Actually, we are recording this, and later I'll post this in YouTube so that a larger community can get the benefit of Kartik's wisdom. Now, I want to just share a very brief about what we are doing today before we go on to. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah, it is visible.
So basically, it's a chat. I used to earlier call it a sit chat. This was only restricted, or let us say, kind of branded for the startup ignition team. And then I thought we could do it because there are multiple groups where I'm active, and so that if there is no conflict. And it also talks about doHow, which is all this chat is all about. So I call it a doHow chat every Sunday at 11 o'clock, starting today. Today is the inaugural session. Mr. Sashidhar, thanks a lot that you are there also as my guru to see this kicked off.
Good.
And Kartik for having accepted to speak on this first chat. So before I continue, a very short display of our disclaimer. This is something which is important, not that later we get into a problem for having taken the initiative to share our wisdom in a very noble way. Then let me directly come to the topics. It could be on anything to do with management, anything to do with development, quality improvement, inventory reduction, performance improvement, process, everything to do with excellence. That's what this chat is all about. And today we have Kartik Modi, who is going to be talking to us about the topic, which is living business excellence, because he has been in the Godrej and Bosch for a long time, and there he has implemented first of all theory of constraints, which is a kind of a precursor for business excellence or operational excellence. And then after that, and also business excellence, because TOC also looks at strategy and tactics and overall business. And in fact, they talk about creating ever-flourishing companies, which is the essence of excellence with theory of constraints. And he has been an exponent of that, and later went on to implement the EFQM model of business excellence in Godrej Locks, and later went on to head the corporate business excellence in Godrej and Bosch, implementing business excellence model EFQM across all the divisions of Godrej and Bosch, one of the most reputed companies in India, which in terms of turnover, they may not be as big as giants like Tata or Larsen and Toubro or anything of that kind, or a Mahindra Group. But in terms of their practices and complexity and engineering expertise, they're as good or even better than the other companies which I just mentioned. With that brief introduction, over to you, Kartik. Maybe we can start. What we do is a very casual chat. And before going to any activity, my suggestion is let us hear from you your take on what the classical excellence is, and what do you think of excellence, and how would we go about, etc. Please go on, Kartik. Over to you.
Yeah. So first of all, I think am I audible and am I seen properly?
Yes.
Yes.
Very much.
Yeah. So I think thanks, Dinakar. It is always excellence is my passion. So I do not miss out any opportunity to talk about or mention about whatever way I can propagate excellence. I take the opportunity. So the moment you called up that day, I thought that this is also one of the opportunities. So I immediately said yes to this chat. It's a very nice idea, and it's a very good initiative from your side. I think the community and the fraternity as a whole will benefit a lot from the experiences and knowledge of the individuals who have done something good in their respective profession or personal life. So thanks for that opportunity given to me. Yeah, so you are saying that today's topic is about living business excellence. So for me, I do not know, before I even thought of excellence or word excellence per se, something was there in my mind always, is that how do I make a habit of applying the different choice when I apply and choose out of several alternatives available. And these choices are supposed to be very simple, and also it may require some discipline. So that is what I, in my all along in my life, I was following that. And there were instances where I had so-called far better choices available in my own personal life. And then I, with whatever reason at that point of time, I made a choice, and I then continued with it. How I used to make that choice, and how I started realizing later that actually I was trying to be an excellent, you can say, person, as and not only following the excellence and an excellent person. Because I was always saying that while making the choices, I was saying, today I am doing something. Will I be able to do something better than what I do by making that choice? And for that, what I need to do? Do I need to continue, or do I need to change? And for that, what are the options available? And evaluation, and do that. That all this mental processing, I'm sure most of us may be doing that. I am not saying that I am the only person who is doing that. But when I was reflecting back, I realized that this is what I was doing. And then at that time, I was trying to say that what will be the right thing or right time, because always it said that something has to be right. That has been engraved into my, or for that matter, most of us, is that something right we must do all along. So then I said, okay, let me see what is my ambition, finally, what I mean to do, what I want to do, what I want to achieve, and how, and personal and professional life. And then accordingly, I started focusing on it. But that is not enough, because while doing that, very important aspect was missing out was the review. The review, performance review, or for that matter, any other review of what I have been doing, how I have been performing, what I was getting the results out of that. And then when I started realizing that the reviews are an analysis of the whatever I have achieved, if we actually see that, how it is going to help me to raise the bar. So the idea is always that we will be ending up doing something, obviously, with a lot of qualification, knowledge, experience. But is there any possibility of raise the bar? So that is what was always there in my mind. And then we said that, okay, all these things will require some disciplined approach. And in that disciplined approach, I cannot do anything or everything alone. I need to have the common understanding with the others. Nowadays we call it as ecosystem. The others who are there in and around with me, and surrounding with me, colleagues, friends, family members, everybody. And then how do I have that sharing and common understanding amongst us? And that is what the discipline I was looking for. And finally, I will say that instead of looking excellence, and subsequently when I realized that I was pursuing the excellence, so I said, instead of excellence as a excellent in or excellent organization or excellent way of working, instead of having that as a goal, if the goal is that pursuing the journey of excellence, if I take that goal, I think that will be far better. And that's what I try to do. Even now also, at this phase of my life, I try to do that. And that is what I mean by excellence. Sorry, Dinakar, it's a long answer to your one small
No,
question.
I think it was with lot of wisdom and lot of insights. Now, Kartik, what you said was very, very interesting. The question would be, see, you got yourself inspired, and what really inspired you? That was the first question, to really think in a way to say that I have to continuously improve myself. And the second is, how do you get everyone in an organization like a Godrej and Boys get inspired the same way as you got inspired?
Yeah, so it's a so that inspiration also I will put it as it will come from something somewhere in belief within, and some belief is there that this is the way to do it, and this is the way to progress or proceed. And I always give this. I always make this sentence always that when we discuss amongst us, or when people approach me or us for looking for the way to go forward in terms of excellence, or say TOC or any other thing. So I said that I always used to make this comment, and even today also I make comment, and future also I continue, is that instead of saying that you show me and then I will believe. So in other words, it's that chamatkar dikhao to hum namaskar karenge. And that's what always the questions and always the ask. So I have been always of the opinion and of the follower of that, because I believe in something, I will show I will do something, and I will have chamatkar because I believe in something. So it's a reverse thing. First I will go within. I start believing in myself and my abilities and what I think that it's right, and then I will try to work in a manner which will make others realize that this is possible, and that is how you must go about doing it, and the success of that people will see. So that something coming from within, so that inspiration what you talked about, so that inspiration again, it's very deeply connected to our own spiritual thinking. Sorry to bring that part of in this discussion, but I firmly of the opinion that excellence in spirituality, what we talk about, are very, very well connected, and are in fact the same. At some point of time, I can say that.
Yeah, that's a very, very interesting connection, Kartik. Taking that forward, see, India, if you see, is a country where we have a very strong, sorry to say, chalta hai attitude, which is quite rampant in our country. Right. On the other side, we are equally spiritual. Spiritually, we are supposed to be much evolved society, evolved civilization than many other cultures in the world. Now, how do you say that? Look, on one side, spirituality is all about excellence. I totally agree with you, and I can also relate and resonate to whatever you said. How do you feel? How do you say? What do you think is the reason why, though people are spiritual, but when it comes to excellence, doing their job, we all talk about karma yoga and all that, but there is a huge disconnect there. What do you think is the reason? What could be the drivers?
So I see one of the major reasons, there may be n number of reasons, but one of the major reasons is over a period of time in the society, or for that matter in the industry or otherwise, how have we defined the successful, who is successful, and that in that definition of success, somewhere we have missed out the essence of what the excellence is all talking about, is the meeting and exceeding the expectations of all stakeholders, for example, and not only one or two stakeholders. Or you need to be always competitive, and competitive is, I am talking in a positive sense, that you should be always ready to be changed to face the current and future reality. So that is what I mean by competitive. So instead of that, the measure or the way people around us have the definition of success is one of type or in a one particular area like that, and that is where I think the major the contradiction happens, because if you try to pursue only in one direction and one of the places, then you may or might miss out on several other dimensions.
Okay. Oh, that's very, very interesting. And if you look at the organization itself, one is to get the inspiration from within. But in organizations, many a times when there is an employee and an employer, it becomes the employer's job also to make sure that the employees become excited, inspired, etc. So how do you go about in a company doing that? What all are necessary? You want to?
So again, it comes. Yeah. So it is. I think. And that's why beautifully it is, and which is again related to what we were discussing, is that about the purpose. What is the purpose on which the organization is, foundation is, and what the owners or the promoters and the people who are having the, you can say, a lot of holding are thinking and working about, on what foundation they have built this particular organization, and they would like to pursue that. So if that is something is very important, and if that is clear with the people, I think it becomes easy for them to percolate down to the organization at large, because then it's a job to be done to find out the like-minded people, and then also make them realize and make them party to the purpose for which the entire organization has been built. So that is what I think that one should look at if you are an owner or a promoter.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Now I just want to summarize, and after that ask everybody if anybody has a question before we continue our discussion, and me asking you something. First is, you spoke about the excellence to come from within. It is something which comes to come from within, and this coming from within is basically driven by a purpose, and the reason why this purpose is so important, and also in a holistic way, not just trying to follow only one or two goals, is what you said. If you are having a holistic purpose, and then it directly links and collaborates with spirituality. And it is also interesting that you mentioned that though India is a highly spiritual country, excellence is not very common in our lives, mainly because we don't look at spirituality holistically, but possibly use the spirituality for only one or two areas of our life. And that's the reason why you seem that you are doing great in those areas, but in the other areas it is not that dominant. So this is what I understood till now. So at this point, do anybody have any question? Please unmute your mic, and you can please ask the question if anybody has any question. Or if anybody has any comment. Yeah, please go on. Please go on.
I have a comment. Mr. Modi, you have been driving excellence at Godrej for many years now.
Yeah.
What time did it take you from your first day driving it at, let us say, Godrej Locks or so, till the time it came to some recognition level, whatever you call it, either not an award yet, maybe the first level of recognition? How long did that whole process take?
Okay, so let me slightly modify your, you can say, question, if you allow me. What I am wanting to mention here is that it's not the question of recognition. It's the question of when all of us together in our business started thinking about and living about excellence. The recognition may or may not be immediate, or may or may not be, may be immediate, may or may not be immediate. So if you allow me, I think I would modify this particular your question. because it is in line with it is in line with what I was training from within, and not from somebody else has to come and tell you that you are doing good, great, which at times is also necessary, required, but first and foremost is within. So okay, so about you can say the timeline you are talking about is almost 7-8 years. Okay, so what has happened is, from a phase or from a time that we started in the journey of, you can say, excellence, formally, not that the business was already existing and it was already 100-year-old business, and we have been doing well, but to say that we are applying this formally into an excellence journey using some model, so which we adopted an EFQM model, doing that. And from that initial, and it has passed through all types of phases. Initial is denial, saying that we are already doing good, what is the necessity of bringing something different and something new. Several things were unsettling several people in many ways. So denial, then from denial to resistance, and then resistance to anger to then some realization, and then from realization to slowly acceptance, and then after acceptance started sinking in, and from sinking in to finally you can say living the excellent way of working. So that is how the journey has been, and it took 7-8 years to come to that stage, to that. Now one may say that, is it too long? Maybe yes, for a legacy organization like ours. Maybe it may be requiring so much of time. In some other organization, it can be done in much less, maybe 1/3 or 1/4 of the time. It depends from company to company, and the culture and the legacy that company is having. So it depends on that. So I hope that I have answered your question.
Yes, definitely. But in this course of the initial stage, for excellence to come from within your organization, it means the people themselves should believe that they are not doing enough and need to improve. Was the initiative for this change top driven, or was it something else?
So obviously it started with top. So the senior leaders of that's what I was talking about. When I say that it is from senior leaders have agreed that this is the way we will be going forward. And we will have to pitch in and put in all the efforts required. Obviously, and then to make it, you can say, across up to the last mile, to bring them on the fold, we have to follow several, you can say, ways of making people realize as well as understand. And as I was talking about purpose, so always we have now never lost that. What was our purpose? Our purpose was always to do business which will, in a way, you can say, benefit the different stakeholders. And in that pursuit, what we are doing. So it started with saying that, okay, and it is very much similar to what I mentioned in the beginning, is that we started with saying that, okay, let's look at what we are doing today. Is this good enough? Do we require changes in that, in line with what our ambition or vision is all about? And do we have a common understanding of different stakeholders? And for that, what is the discipline required? What is the new way of working and thinking will be required? Thinking and working will be required. So a similar process was followed to bring that type of, you can say, alignment amongst all the people. And that's very necessary, because when we talk about, we always say that excellence and business are not two different things. For any organization which has been in existence for many years, they are doing something good. That's why they are existing. Otherwise, they would have not been in existence at all. So let's first try to revisit what we are doing, apply with some of the good practices, what is prevalent across the globe, and try to find out if there are any gaps in line with our ambition and our vision. So, and then if we agree, then it becomes very easy for everyone to agree on that. And then we decide, if that is the case, then how do we want to proceed? What is the future we want to carve out for ourselves? So far we have been doing well. Now what is the future we want to be there for ourselves, as well as we want to leave behind? And that agreement has to happen. It has happened rather. And then based on that, we started working on this. So that's how, in a very short, summarized way, I have tried to explain to you what
you were using frequently the word we. Who was the we? Was it you and a team, or was it your the top man, or was it a group driving it?
Yeah. It's a team of people. It's not only one person, say me, or only the topmost person, or say owner of the organization, but it is a team of people who came together at the first agreement on what we would like to do, as the steps I followed, the agreement. Obviously, there subsequently for that, some facilitator or some driver may be required to take that along. So that role I may have played, but otherwise all those, the entire everything has happened with by the team rather, and with the other people involved in it. That's why when you said that it was from only to one topmost person, or it is from the other people. So that's why I said the team was there, and then that team was responsible to further go down to their respective teams in their respective functions or areas, and likewise go on, and then finally we brought everybody together.
Okay. Thank you.
I think, I wanted to just share an anecdote which another close friend of mine and an expert keeps telling. See, he says that, Dinakar, see, anyway, whenever you are doing Abhisheka for God, you always start from the top. You can never do the Abhisheka from the bottom.
Right.
So the Abhisheka has to happen from the top. I think that's what Kartik meant. And do anybody have any questions? Otherwise, there is one question in the Q&A. I want to just ask that, read it out. It says, sir, synergy in India is missing. Synergy in India is missing in India a lot. How spiritual concepts can be implemented in developing synergy is the question. How can we use spiritual concepts to develop synergy and develop that drive from within? That is the question.
Yeah. So first of all, let me say that I am very much optimistic. I will put it that way. I'm not saying that everything is lost, or quite a few things are happening which are very much in so-called positive direction. That's what I said. The like-minded people having the right thoughts come together and voice their whatever opinion. One of the important thing is that when I said a team of senior leaders, and I'm saying that the journey was not at all very cool and calm. There were a lot of heated debates and arguments used to take place. Even now also it takes place, I'm sure. So it's not that it is the alignment doesn't mean that one idea is there and everybody has to follow that. It's not that. As long as we have the differences are more scope is given to voice out those differences and reason it out, and then everybody is given the equal opportunity to share his or her thinking, and then come after a lot of deliberations and discussions, then finally come to a consensus. So that's the approach we had taken, and I'm sure even similar approach we can take for also. Of course, this approach will take some more time than normally one can think of. But then we have to show patience and perseverance, because then this is going to be a long lasting. Otherwise, moment the pressure is off, everybody will go back to their normal behavior, which was prevalent earlier. So in order to have a permanent change in the behavior, this type of transparency, open discussion, allowing others' ideas, some other ideas may be completely different or completely opposite to your idea, allowing everybody to express, come to an agreement, and then taking it forward collectively. That's what I think will bring that synergy what we are discussing.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because if you look at it, excellence, I believe very strongly that excellence has a lot to do with common understanding. Unless there is a common understanding and a common belief in what we want to achieve and the purpose, excellence will not happen, irrespective of the model, whether it is EFQM or Deming Prize or Malcolm Baldrige. It doesn't really matter at all. It's the people coming together and coming to a common understanding that we are going to continuously evolve. We are going to continuously question ourselves. And that, I think, is the key message which you are trying to deliver, Kartik, which is in a way, some kind of there is a tremendous amount of difference from that message and the structured approach and the systematic approach of various excellence models. I don't know where this hidden wisdom which you are sharing today, Kartik, is lost in that entire, what do you call it as, entire complexity of trying to do excellence in whatever area, whether it is business excellence, operations excellence, process excellence. Always people concentrate on tools and methods, but forget the people element. And that is what I perceive now. Having perceived that, I have a question which is also in the one more question in the chat box. How do you think? Yeah, please go on.
Can I leave?
Yeah, please.
Sorry
Thank
about
you so much. Thank you so
I
much.
have another engagement.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Mr. Modi, thanks.
Thank
Good
you.
to know you, and
Yeah,
wish you all the best in furthering the journey of excellence.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
I don't know whether you have known Shishidhar, Mr. Kartik. He was he was my first boss. That is how I know him. And later he went on to head the machine building division of Bosch, and later worked with Bosch for a long time. I think 5 to 6 years in mentoring people on excellence till Bosch units won the award. So that's his background.
Okay.
All the best, Mr.
Thank
Modi.
you. Thank you.
Bye, Dinakar.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So now let me come to the question. It says, how do you make the bottom of the pyramid, this common understanding? How do you evolve that common understanding across the hierarchy? What is the key? What can, so that they also equally are motivated?
So I think for that, I think there is no other, you can say, method but to continue to communicate. And then when I say communication in different forms and different forums and different ways, one obvious communication tool what we can use is the reviews. So during review, when we talk about review at that point of time, apart from rather than focusing on what has happened and what you can say what has gone wrong or right, instead of that, if we say that okay, how this has happened, and then if we have to do it better, what else can be done, how things can be further done better. So that is the way to, you can say, one of the ways to bring them together, so that we are trying to make them also think and come out with the different ideas. that how you can do. And as I was mentioning earlier, that we are not talking about business and excellence as a two independent and two different type of entities or initiatives. It is same. So while what example I gave about review, while we do remain entrenched into the business of that particular review, whatever is happening, but at the same time we are inculcating the excellence way of thinking and working. That's what I was talking earlier of habit, making the habit and making the choices. When I have to make the choice at that time, what discipline I will apply. So that discipline inculcation of the discipline and using that for every discussion, every forum, every time when we communicate, I think that is how we can bring them together. So they can also think that here's the review is focusing around me and what I can do better, and I can contribute to the success, not only of my success, but also of the success of my own department and the function or the organization. I think that is how we can do that. Another way of communication is frequently sharing what is happening in the business, because more often than not, most of the people are not aware about what is the business all about, and how the business is performing, what are the good points, what are not so good points, where we need to do better, and in a very transparent and open way, and then seeking their views or seeking their comments on that. So that is also another point. So it's one is to review with them about their own working. The second is sharing what is happening in the business. So in both ways, we are trying to then bring people very much part of the organization, and then let the person starts believing that his own personal and professional purpose, what we call it, or say ambition, is somewhat matching, if not completely matching, with the company's purpose and vision. And that's how this type of exercise helps. So without mentioning these words of purpose and the excellence and all those things, if we actually demonstrate and behave and do like this, I think we are actually practicing the you can say some of the excellence concepts or practices.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Do anybody have any question? You just have to unmute and then please speak.
So I'm Raghavendra here.
Please go on, Raghavendra.
Yeah, I just wanted to share one information. Since 1989, I have been inspired by this operations excellence, especially the Toyota production system, TPM, TQM, all these areas. And over a period of time, I have acquired enough knowledge and training, and I'm now doing freelance consulting and training. Like Mr. Dinakar said, this Abhishekam starts from the top. I would also like to say that the bottleneck also is at the top. In the recent past, the last 3 months, I have spoken to a few of the MSME owners. The only one sentence they said was, you come to the factory, you do what you think is right, you keep doing, but don't involve me, I am very busy. Usually we follow the Japanese system, which is same like purpose, your vision, mission, through the Hoshin Kanri method, or sometimes we follow the Western balanced scorecard method. But I would like to know, what do I tell these owners who say, you do what you want inside with them, but don't involve me?
Yeah. So that the owners, we have to say that if you want any change to happen, then you have to get involved. Otherwise, the change will not happen. What you want to perceive any change here. So the success it will not be successful, and then or it will be success of a temporary nature, and then again it will go back to this thing. So that's how it is. The MSME owners are not interested in what excellence we are trying to do. And they believe that what they do is priority and more important. I think
That's
then
right.
I think they are not I think yet ready to, you can say, pursue excellence journey. I will put it that way. So we have to make them ready first and individually, and then we can start implementing.
Yeah, Kartik, if it is okay, may I also add my thought on that?
Yeah. Yes.
Raghavendra, if what I have experienced is I have not come across any single owner or the entrepreneur who doesn't want excellence in his organization. But unfortunately, his experience with so many experts in the market so far has not been good, because, like Kartik was telling, it's not a journey which will get materialized in a couple of weeks or couple of days. It will take a long time. Therefore, in my opinion, it's important to engage with the owner, keep discussing with them, and try to get a common understanding. That is the key as to what we are doing. Imagine if the owner is telling you to do whatever you want to do in the organization, then he is basically giving you a full hand. Now, that full hand may mean that you have got the authority to change somebody, you got the authority to motivate somebody, you got the authority to change the way they work. Everything is possible. But that perception needs to be clarified to the owner. If he's in agreement to that, you can do whatever you want, because they are expecting some outcome and they are helpless. And because of them not being able to achieve that, have they gone to a consultant or an expert? So I think it as a consultant or an expert, if you are able to engage with the owner and then explain what excellence is all about, and it will take time, and they definitely would be able to understand and be along with you in implementing whatever that needs to be implemented. That was my take. Of course, definitely it needs to be spoken with them, and a common understanding has to be established. That is the first step. Ankur Kumar, you wanted to have something, ask something. I saw that you had raised your hand. Paramatmuni. Yeah, please go on. Paramatmuni, please go on.
Yes, sir. Sir, I was thinking whether positive psychology can be used in change of behavior of the employees. Supposing a collection of solutions are designed by the senior counselors, and these solutions are given are made available to the context, then the tendencies can be changed. Supposing in a classroom setup, if you want to change the behavior of the students, can we apply, as a teacher, can we apply these positive solutions and attain the excellence, be it in the performance of the students or change in behavior of the students? How about using the positive psychology?
What do you mean by positive psychology, Paramatmuni?
Sir, that means positive solutions, creating a solution bank, and taking those solutions designed by the senior counselor, and then making these solutions available to the context by the teacher in the classroom setup.
Okay, understood. Kartik,
yeah.
you want to?
Yeah. No. I think what you are suggesting is, again, I'm sorry I'm making this comment. Rather than going by the name of the concept or something like that, what I said is let us be very simple, because again, simplicity is the hallmark of excellence. That's what I think of. Really, let's make it simple. We engage with the people, try to bring out the positivity amongst them in several ways. It can be done. It can be done with right examples. It can be done by own personal life achievements, or it can be done by some inspiring stories. So it can be done in a way, and then let the people come back and bring their good ideas to the table, and that's how then we can bring the synergy and make people coming together with a shared understanding. So I think what you are suggesting may also work, but as I was mentioning, I will go with each organization, each place, and approach it in a different way, and not try to apply while the basic theory or concept may remain same, but it will change the contour and the way to actually implement and execute will change based on that particular situation, that particular organization, that particular case, that particular time, that particular group.
Yeah, I think Kartik basically explained the essence of new education policy, Paramath Muni, because the idea is not to really impose some counselors' ideas into that team, but really get the team to evolve themselves, involve the team, talk to them, involve the students, and even if it is positive ideas, the students also can come up with positive ideas, positive affirmations, and then use that, in a consistent manner, so that you
Yes,
have,
sir.
so
But
that, yeah.
but
Please.
my thing is, we are not having that excellent to have. Why not take the reference, which is knowledge of the knowledge base, which is generated in the past, supposing City Vidya of yesteryears. Why can't we take that as the base, take the reference, get the suggestion base from that knowledge base, and apply it to the context now, so that we can regain our past glory?
Yeah. So I think what Kartik was mentioning in the beginning, Paramath Muni, I don't know whether you were there in the beginning or not. He was talking about excellence being a state of mind where you are constantly trying to do something better tomorrow than what you did today. Something where you are trying to challenge yourself. You are not trying to copy anything. You're not trying to implement anything. You're only trying to challenge yourself. So as long as your team is able to understand and appreciate that the counselors' ideas and counselors' thoughts are better than what they have today and they want to implement it, let them try out. So it's important to come from within, is what I understood. Correct, Kartik?
Yes,
Maybe you can add to that.
In fact, I was about to say similar thing. Obviously, is that yes, while counselor and some ready body of knowledge is always welcome, but again, the thinking in the minds of any human being is that it is applicable for him in that circumstances at that point of time and in that group. But I am different, my team is different, my group is different, my context is different, my circumstances are different, so it may not be applicable. So that question will always remain, doubt will always remain in the mind of the people to actually adopt what the wisdom has been there from this type of body of knowledge. So that is the reason I said, let it evolve from them. And then once it evolves to reach to a certain level, then you bring this body of knowledge and use this some of the points what are already available as wisdom. Then you can introduce that, and then you can start working with that.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other question? Any other comment? Okay. So otherwise, I have a question, Kartik. Oh, sorry, Ankur, please go on.
Yeah.
Ankur, please go on.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Sir, this is in continuation to the previous question which was asked, that sometimes we don't get a full-hearted leadership support in business excellence. To be fair to them, they have established a team, and as it was mentioned, too much of control would be a problem for them to give us. So to bring about that change, if we do not want to go that full jing bang of EFQM, what small or little strides that we can take so that we can change their mind? And just to give you a bit of context, I work, I'm based out of Dubai, and we are into luxury segment. So definitely say money savings is not big of a motivation, because they would say, okay, we sell one extra Range Rover and everything is covered. So I'm still not able to feel the pulse of what should be those smaller strides which would help them make their mind in big way. They definitely support us, that is there, but that's the big change that we talk about.
Okay, so this type of you can say conflict will be there always in the mind. Again, it comes from the what earlier I was mentioning, okay, you show me the success, I will believe in it, and then I will start following in it. Otherwise, there is a department, there is a team of people are there, you continue whatever you want to do, and we'll do that. So the good way of going about, which I have tried and I have succeeded in many cases, is that you pick up any one or two areas in your business which you believe we need to improve upon, and start applying the excellent concept in that, without bringing in EFQM model or any other thing, and then see that how we can bring people together, make them ask them to go on the improvement path, use some sort of collective, you can say, working together, and then sharing whatever the thinking is there amongst different people, and show some improvement. And then maybe after a few months, weeks or months, some tangible thing will come out of that, or definitely in terms of the performance. But also there is some intangible thing will also emerge, is that we are a better team, we are a one cohesive team, and we are now willing to work together and have an alignment for a particular cause or for a particular reason or for an objective. So that is how you can go step by step, and then you can do that. And for that, whatever educational support you require to be given to the team, you as a BE team member, business excellence team members, can provide that support to them and educate them and be there together with them, so that they succeed in this whatever area is chosen by you all.
Kartik, I think one thing which Ankur said was in terms of small steps, what can be done. Now, there you spoke about applying excellence concepts. So can you elaborate a little on that? What do you mean by excellence concepts? Let us say there is a small problem identified. What would you do in such a case? Let's take the classic example of a customer escalation happening. That means some delivery, some commitment was done, commitment is not met. Therefore, customer is annoyed. Therefore, it is getting escalated. That keeps repeating in the organization. Yeah. So, in such a case, what kind of excellence concept would you have implemented?
Yeah. So, first is the identifying what are the right way the data need to be collected for such type of situation. In say the whatever example you give is the customer escalation or customer grievances or customer complaints. What is the analysis data is captured? What is the analysis to be done? For that analysis, you want to use any tools, or you want to just simply try to understand the reasons and cause and try to find out. So because these are the effects, so try to find out the causes. The causes can be determined by way of the simple thumb rule is sometimes is a mere experienced person will immediately be able to quickly pinpoint the cause and do that. Or you can use a very good method of any good method you can apply to identify the causes, and then work on it, and then review that, take team into confidence. After that, you decide on the improvement plan, and that improvement plan you have proper steps written down, and then follow reviews at a very short interval. Sometimes depending on the type of the issue, maybe daily, sometimes weekly, regular reviews are happening, and on that the regular improvements are tracked and monitored. And this is how you do it. And then you will find after say 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 weeks, you will have a definite improvement there. And this is what nothing else, but we are moving. This is part of, you can say, continuous improvement, but this is not continuous improvement in an individual sense, because this continuous improvement you are trying to relate with what actually is the objective of the business and how this improvement is going to impact the business performance. If that relationship is established and quantified, I think That is what I was talking about, the excellence concept. One of the ways, one of the excellence concept.
Ankur, was that clarifying to you, or you want anything more to be discussed?
I think, sir, for now, thank you for that elaborate answer. Good that you prompted that example. So definitely, now I need to work that, and I'm sure if something is there, I'll come back to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And possibly just one short addition to whatever Kartik said. Possibly even before doing all that, it's important to get those people who are involved to share and discuss and openly discuss to make sure that the problem that we are attacking is really important. That is important.
Yeah.
True.
It is just not for the sake of you can say demonstrating something. You have picked up a problem. That problem should be. That's what I said. Finally, it has to have a significant impact on the business performance, whatever solution will be. And that we can demonstrate well. I think that then I think it will be a better acceptance.
Yeah, Kartik, listening to all whatever you have been telling and whatever question answers we have had till now, it gets me to more and more believe that excellence is all about people and less to do with models and systems and
correct. Absolutely. Yeah.
But we don't do it that way, right? We've got a lot of systems, tools, and practices and all that. But it is to do with people. That's all. It's just to get that ignition, that kindling, saying that look, I have to go ahead. Huh?
Yeah, and the model sometimes I'm not saying anything different, but sometimes because we try to follow the model, etc., that is, we make it more complicated and complex. Excellence is all about simplicity and remaining very simple. So that is what it is all about.
Oh, super! See, I remembered something which is told in Kannada. I don't know what it is in Hindi or English. See, in Kannada they say "tumbid kola tulkalla." That means a pot which is full does not spill, does not shake around, or the same thing. I don't know. In Hindi also there must be something like that, right?
Yes. In Gujarati also, Hindi also, every language will have similar example. Yes.
So if you look at it, this DNA or this back end activity of people is something which is the wisdom, core wisdom of excellence, which is somewhere hidden. And lot of other things, models, systems, and tools, they come in the forefront.
Right.
Why is it that, Kartik? Is it because people have really not understood what excellence is? Or is it because putting a new model, putting a new system, putting a new tool, attracts more attention?
No, it's over a period of time, as I was explaining. The way we have started measuring the people and the success of the people is how you make it very complex. And we show certain very complex algorithm, complex system, complex tools. Then you feel, here somebody is doing great and something is great. That is what it is, rather than going to the core and trying to understand in a simple manner. So that is again coming from that thinking.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Anybody else have any question or a comment? We have another 2 minutes. If anybody has anything to say or contribute, please do that. Okay, so otherwise, Kartik, thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. It was really very, very inspiring talk to me, inspiring chat to really conclude that, look, excellence is all about people and we need to really work on people instead of so many tools. People are really worried about how do I do an Ishikawa diagram? What is QFD, quality function deployment? So many tools are there. It's all about people. And I think that's a core message that all of us will take home today. And thank you so much. Thank you very, very much for your time and for your patience and preparation in sharing your wisdom to all of us, Kartik. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dinakar, for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.